Hey there, Woo Ball fans. Make plans now to kick off the 2024 season at the first Waldorf Gridiron Club Golf Tournament, Friday, September 6th at the Gruis Golf Course. Start your home opener tailgating experience early by registering your four-person team now at woogridironevents@gmail.com. Find the link in the show notes. It's just $150 for each team, and that includes meals. If you want to sponsor one of our 9 holes, you can do that too for just $300, which includes the team registration, meals, hole signage, and recognition. This is a fundraiser for the Gridiron Club, and all money raised goes straight to the Warrior football program. We'll start registration at 12:15, get a welcome from the coaches, and explain the tournament rules at 12:45, then off to a shotgun start to our scramble at 1 p.m. Think of it as a kickoff. It's just a 9-hole tournament, so there will be plenty of time for our evening meal, flight prizes, and pre-game camaraderie around 5 p.m. You can bring your own cart or rent them right there at the course. The Gruis Golf Course is located west of Forest City at 2724 360th Street in rural Buffalo Center. We can't wait to see you at the Waldorf Gridiron Club Golf Tournament September 6th. Get your team together and register today by emailing woogridironevents@gmail.com, and we'll get you taken care of. Go Warriors! Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret bunker beneath Bullsdorf Field.
Welcome to this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, folks. We promised you, if you listened last week, and if you didn't, you missed out because it was, dare I say, pithy.
I thought it was great.
It was wonderful. Coach Chapa, what did you think?
Yeah, it was real fun to see you guys kind of hang out and relax for a minute. That one was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had a great time. Yeah, so we're down here in the bunker today, and we're going to be going through a single university, the first opponent on our list. And Troy, tell me, who do you think that might be?
I think it is going to be a bit of a Bulldog experience.
Oh, yeah, Bulldog, like Lake Mills?
Or Duluth.
Duluth?
Duluth.
Yeah,
or
up in there.
Well, that's a northern Minnesota is a very Lutheran part of the world.
Oh, boy.
And we're talking about the self-proclaimed most Lutheran experience in college is Concordia, Nebraska.
Well, it could be. Actually, they're Concordia University in Seward.
Small town.
Seward's about 6,000 people or something like that. So it's larger than the city of Forest City. And they got a lot going on. As we pointed out last week, they got a Walmart.
They do have a Walmart.
They do have a Walmart.
Yeah.
You pointed that out, huh?
Yeah. Well, you did.
I thought it was Hastings.
Could have been them too. Maybe they have a Walmart too. We'll get to them later.
Yeah.
They're a ways away. Concordia's a ways. Seward's a ways. It's just past Lincoln.
So you know how we discuss ad nauseum about how many Concordias are there?
Too many.
We did. Yeah.
There is actually a Concordia University system. It's a system.
Oh.
It's all controlled by the Lutheran Church of the Missouri Synod.
That's what that stands for.
LCMS. You bet.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm a lifelong Lutheran. Mm-hmm. I'm an ELCA Lutheran. We are the Shiite Lutherans.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the LCMS are those are the Sunni Lutherans.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we love each other, kinda.
Yeah.
You know, we both every now and then.
Who do you get together to hate on?
I don't know. Probably
like if
Catholics.
it's the Shiites and the Sunnis, they're like, well, then that's Israel. So
Well, maybe
who's your Israel for the Lutherans?
Well, probably I don't know, Vatican City.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Could
there's
be,
a little
you know, 'cause, hey,
you
next thing-
guys call yourselves Lutheran Light. You were just telling me that. Or Catholic
No, we're
Light.
Catholic Light.
Catholic.
Yeah, we didn't ever want to leave the church. They kicked Luther out.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, so you pound some theses onto a door and everybody gets all upset.
You know what it's like to leave a
500
hole
years
in the wall.
That's 500 years ago, man.
You leave a hole in the wall, and then you got to patch it up, and it's just like, there's like too much.
Well, so they're part of this system, and there's actually...
Well, isn't that Ani? Wasn't Ani part of it?
He was.
Concordia St. Paul.
And they're in that system.
There's 6 of them. There's one in Ann Arbor, Michigan, River
Okay.
Forest, Illinois, Irvine, California, obviously St. Paul, as we just mentioned, Seward, which is a funny name, and Mequon, Wisconsin.
Probably named after the former Secretary of State for President Abraham Lincoln.
Well, it was named after the county that was named after the Secretary of State. Yes.
Was he Secretary of State or Secretary of War?
He was Secretary of State, William Seward.
There you go. There's one in Alaska. I've been there.
And actually, he actually, William Henry Seward, for those of you that don't know, he was a critical part of the treaty that actually got Alaska for the United States. So that's why Seward, Alaska is named after.
A good deal. And they called it Seward's Folly.
Yes.
They thought it was they, being the average American or the press, said, what a ridiculous waste of money to buy Alaska.
For sure.
And now look what we've got.
So Concordia was founded, back in 1894.
Oh, I thought it was 1854. 94.
1894,
They're just a little bit older than us by 8 years.
There was 3 dudes in that town that got together, or 4.
7 years.
Yeah, and said, hey, look, let's start basically a seminary.
Yeah.
Just a higher education. And so on November 18th, they said, let's do it. 3 days later, or was it? Yeah, 2 days later, 13 students enrolled.
I love how easy it was to start a college back in the day.
Yeah, just like, let's do it.
Way back in the day.
And that hall is still on campus in Seward there at Columbia. Or not Columbia, Concordia. Columbia is not anywhere close to Seward, Nebraska.
The country?
Or the university.
All right. That's in New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and actually what those
Talk
students...
about Sunni and Shiites.
Yeah, right? So what those students had to do is that after they were done 3 years at Concordia, or actually, I will try to pronounce the name of this. It was not called Concordia right out of the jump. So, but they would then transfer to Addison Teachers Seminary to finish their education. So yeah, I mean, good old Christian folk. Now they used to call. I'm going to sneeze.
All right.
Nope, went away. Okay. So it was. Let me try this. This is in. Do you speak German, Troy?
I do.
Okay. I was going to say, I've heard you.
So let me have you read this.
Little German and Norwegian, and
it was
a little bit of everything.
It's under that formerly named there. If you can read that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this could be interesting.
I wonder why it was changed.
Well, the folks in the area called it the German College.
Ooh.
What? Yep.
Oh yeah, here we go. I see. This is your notes. I got you.
I got the 2 pages, man.
He did his thing.
Yes.
I do my thing.
Yeah. Evangelistisches Lutherisches. Ooh, that's terrible. Evangelistisches Lutherisches Schullehrer Seminar.
Oh man, that's
and what does that mean in English?
I heard Lutheran.
Evangelical Lutheran Teachers Seminary.
Yeah, and so when the school first started, I mean, up into the 1940s, the majority of their classes were taught in German. Now, it doesn't have that in the notes. I just read that. And so very interesting.
That is interesting.
But then there was anti-German sentiment around World War II for
World War I.
Well, but
they got pretty
in the 1940s is really when it became
Okay.
more of a national thing. So they started teaching their classes in English because there were some classes in English back in the day.
I took German at Waldorf back when I went there in the day. Yeah, Frau Bakens taught German, and that was great. I had at the time a German exchange student girlfriend.
Ooh,
so it helped me learn German.
Anya.
Anya.
Yeah.
Sounds very
good.
Yeah. And Waldorf in German, even though it's kind of a Norwegian school where we're around, but Wald means forest and Dorf means village. So Waldorf means Forest City.
I just thought it was a salad the whole time.
Yeah. Or a hotel. Yeah.
Forest Village salad, Forest Village.
So when did they change the name there?
Well, in 1940, they actually changed it to the Concordia Teachers College.
Okay.
And then in 95, they became part of the Concordia University system.
What does Concordia mean? Why did they choose that name?
You know, they did
Seward. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I don't know. And
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I think it's in there when you're talking about it. Some of their history on, you kind of had to dig deep. I think it was a Wikipedia type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, the school, there's 1,124 undergraduate students enrolled as of 2022. Obviously, it's probably gone up or down a little bit, but it's around that 1,100. How much you suppose it costs to go there?
If I had to take a guess, I would say 48,000.
That's very close. Their tuition and fees total is $51,350. It's $39,800 for tuition, $4,700 for housing, $6,150 for a meal plan, and then they have their communist student services fee. That's just kind of like on that's kind of like on when your contractor comes to your house and they have $15 miscellaneous parts.
Yeah. So this will make Ani very happy. First of all, to finish what you said, that's $15,000 more than Waldorf.
Yeah, that's going to be a common thing.
Yeah.
In this conference here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting a good deal, folks. Now, the meaning of Concordia
please.
Is agreement or harmony.
Oh.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Oh,
yeah.
We are saying.
Apparently from the Greek. Yeah. But it's a feminine noun, so that explains a lot.
Oh, there we go. Shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah.
So as people are walking by to go to
finding these tacks.
Oh yeah, don't.
People are walking by our tailgate area. You can
now
be
you got some ammo.
Holding your beer and being like,
looks delicious, doesn't it?
It's a lovely feminine Greek noun you're named after.
I am curious to see other people's tailgate and if it even compares to what we've got going on. Because ours can get kind of rowdy now.
It can.
In the best of ways.
Yeah, in the best of ways, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Seward. We did talk a little bit about how it was named.
Yeah.
Did you know that Seward is the official 4th of July city in the United States?
No.
1979, Congress actually passed a resolution or something naming them the official 4th of July city of the United States.
Seward, Nebraska?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Come on.
Well, so they had in 1868 they had on July 4th, Independence Day, they had just a little get together with the folks out in the courthouse square there in Seward, and actually beautiful courthouse, absolutely gorgeous. But it's been going on every year since 1868.
Clear Lake is pretty fun on the 4th of July.
I agree.
So
yeah.
I don't know if they can compete with that.
They are not.
We need Congress to.
Well,
they're bigger than we are, though, as a city. They've got 7,600 people.
Yeah, but we're tougher.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're not.
Bring it.
I mean,
We don't need
we have a Greek feminine noun.
We don't.
You know.
Well,
that's not Seward, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also, and you'll be interested to know about this, it is home to the self-proclaimed world's largest time capsule.
Why?
Self-proclaimed.
In 1975, a gentleman by the name of Harold Davison, he owned a furniture store called the House of Davison, which I believe is still there.
Pretty cool name, yeah.
Yeah, it's Davison with 2 S's, so I like the way they spell it. So this guy just decided that he'd build this time capsule.
Okay.
And so they're going to open it on July 4th of next year, 2025. So it'll be 50 years. He said that, or they're saying that he put in an eclectic assortment of about 5,000 different items, including, and everybody will be a fan of this.
Yeah, I want you to list them all. This will only take
I'm not going to list them all.
These are some of the world here, boys.
Some of the notable items is a pair of bikini panties.
Okay, so he's a serial killer. What Mr.
He may
Davison.
be.
I've got to hide this evidence. Let's put it in the time capsule.
Exactly. 50 years should be good.
This is Willa Cather's bikini underpants in the time capsule.
There you go.
That's a Nebraska reference. Thanks.
Yep. A men's aquamarine leisure suit stitched with yellow flowers.
Ooh, I hope it's my size. When does it open?
Next year, July 4. Let's go.
I mean,
almost exactly a
fits,
year from now.
Waldorf Warriors going to run in, take the what did you say? Lime?
Aquamarine
leisure suit.
No, it gets better because the next item is what I think that we should steal.
Okay.
A 1975 brand new Chevy Vega.
There's a car in it?
What is this time capsule?
It's just a
well,
thing.
That's how you make it so big. You got to put
I know,
a car
but what
in.
is it? Is it like a
It's actually right out in front of this furniture store. There's this big pyramid on top of it because there was some somebody over in Europe said it's not the biggest. We have the biggest. So this guy added a bunch more items.
So he built a structure for this.
Yeah, he built it under a dirt mound, and then he added this structure on top of it to put more stuff in it, so it could be the biggest.
This is in the 1970s they did this?
1975, so it'll be 50 years when they open it. But
I mean, how does he... So, like, what kind of... Can you imagine? Like, today it's the world of the internet. You could be out there. I built... we're going to go ahead and build the world's largest time capsule, and somebody in France is like, we had the largest time capsule, and it's immediate. Like, are they writing letters back and forth? Like, they proclaimed it, and then Paris is like, I don't think so.
I don't know if it was Paris or not, but he did the Vega because it was the cheapest car he could find back in the day.
Are there other cities in Europe? I'm only familiar with Paris.
So it says there's also a concrete Indian, a winged bomb, and a portable jail cell. And after he added to it to make it the world's largest, he put up...
I like that he included a jail cell.
Yeah.
You might need it with the...
I mean, it seems... Well, the leisure suit.
Well, after we steal the Vega...
You can try it on, but you're going to have to do it inside the jail cell because we know what you're planning.
That's right. But when he did rebuild it, and I can't remember what year it was just a few years after, he bought and threw in a 1975 beat-up Datsun or Toyota. They can't remember which one it is. So, yeah.
So there's two cars.
I wonder what the dimension of this pyramid time capsule is.
It's large. I went on.
You saw pictures
of
it?
I saw it on Street View, and it's big. It's big, but it's. I mean,
like the size of a house.
It ain't no ball of twine.
Yeah,
folks, this is an away game.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to go see the furniture store.
So now you know some local sites to see the world's largest time capsule.
Yeah, a little bit of history is Seward, other than being named for William Henry Seward.
Yeah.
It used to be home to a minor league baseball team from 1910 to 1913, and they were named the Seward Statesmen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a deadly tornado struck the area,
Oh, no.
and they had to be relocated to Beatrice, Nebraska. And guess what their name was after that?
The Bees?
No.
The Beatrice Statesman?
No, the Beatrice Milk Skimmers.
I mean, you're never going to get anywhere with that name.
Yeah,
someone put that down and was like, this is fine.
And what is with the state of Nebraska? Because the first 2 years that the University of Nebraska had a football team, you know what their mascot was? They called themselves? It wasn't the Cornhuskers.
Oh, I didn't know.
It was the Bug Eaters.
I mean,
really? Milk Skimmers and Bug Eaters? What's Nebraska doing? I mean, come on. It's like
nothing since the 90s.
I love this rivalry.
Yeah. And they got 2 time zones. You go over in toward the...
Oh,
they do?
Yeah, toward the Panhandle's mountain time.
That's the problem with these really long states.
Recruit out there.
Well, it's like, it's almost 500 miles from east to west. Like 460. Yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't know that when I was recruiting down there. I didn't know that this was my first year. This was years ago. And I'm driving, all of a sudden my car turns times and I'm late to the place I said I was going.
School's out.
Like, man, what?
Bummer.
Yeah, no one tells you those things.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think like in Iowa, it's kind of like 10 miles between each town, and that's mostly because of the trains.
Right.
They grab water and some more coal or wood or whatever they're using.
Exactly right.
And I think Nebraska must have had, I don't know, they must have had something going on because it seems like it's about 600 miles between each town.
I did read, though, that's how Seward became a town, was that the railroad came through.
Said this is a good place to hunker down for the night.
A little water station.
Yeah. Let's stop here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not too far outside of Lincoln.
Not too far. Less than 30 miles. In fact, I think it's about 19, 20 miles away.
Yep.
I did some research for folks because it is an away game, and I've done this actually for all of the away games. Concordia. So the game will be on the 31st of August. It's our first game, and it will be at 7 p.m., and that'll be at Bulldog Stadium. Now, in town, a town of about 7,600 people, they have 3 hotels. So if you're planning on going out there,
look at early.
You got the Cobblestone. I'll send this out to people that join the Gridiron Club and get the newsletter, and so that they know what's going on. But a Cobblestone Hotel and Suites. They got the Sunset Inn and Suites, and they got East Hills Inn and Suites, and I don't know anything about that one. But there's just a lot more remote lodging. So some of these places that we're going.
East Hills? Is that what you said?
It's called East Hills Inn and Suites.
Oh, and Rambler Museum. I just made that up.
East Hills Inn and Suites and Rambler, right across from the world's largest. I don't know where it's located, but
No, that's like right in the center of town.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can stay in Lincoln, and you're only about 20 minutes away. So there's lots of options, obviously, in Lincoln. However, did a little additional research on this, and everybody should know that even though there are a multitude of hotels in Lincoln, that is also the largest city in the state of Nebraska on Saturdays when the Cornhuskers are playing. So be advised, the University of Nebraska does have a home game on the 31st of August versus UTEP. And so, I don't know, UTEP.
Yeah.
Texas El Paso.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lincoln,
University
Nebraska shuts down.
Well, yeah.
So lots of great hotels, but if you're going to book it and you're going to stay and you want a nicer hotel, I suppose, than what's in Seward. I don't know what the cobblestone.
Don't they put like
East Hills are
90,000 into Memorial Stadium on game day?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sure they don't all stay in town, but a lot of them do. And and just heads up, I did the same thing. The next away game is at Doane, and they're not too far away from Lincoln either. And the Cornhuskers have a game at home that weekend as well, and that's against UNI. So there's a good chance you'll see some UNI fans.
Yeah.
A lot of Iowa fans.
Well, yeah, we could
multiple
like carpool.
reasons. Yeah, multiple.
Yeah, we could meet them on Highway 20 down there.
They probably play in the morning. If they play in the morning, we play at 5.
Well, they don't say. Lincoln isn't saying what time they're going to play. Yeah, for any of their.
So
dates.
if you go down there and say and get yourself a hotel or whatever, you pull a camper. I don't know, maybe find an Airbnb.
There's some of those too in town, and there are some bed and breakfasts and things like that. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cobblestone will be fine too.
Oh, I think so.
Because we were going to stay there until we figured out the game was at 7, and then we don't have to.
Right. So. And some of the things too is that we're going to have to really do some research for our folks that want to travel down there and they're getting set up tailgate, because I don't believe there's any alcohol on. I don't think they allow alcohol on campus. They may, for game day or something like that, but we're going to have to find that out, and maybe we'll have to call the Missouri Synod headquarters and see if we can get like a waiver.
Oh, they'll know who's calling. They'll see the caller ID, and they'll say, this guy's from the ELCA, probably wants to drink on campus.
Not on my watch.
That's right. This shall not pass.
Not today.
Well,
Helga, come in here.
Da, mein Führer.
Why are you wearing a dress? You better be wearing a dress.
Exactly. I can see your ankles, woman. Go home and change.
That's so terrible. I don't even know.
Yeah, I know. This is probably going to be one of the nicest towns. Like, I think I want to move here.
Yeah. Well, they've got all that good stuff down there.
Well, they got, their grocery store, great name, Pack and Save.
Yeah.
Or you
I
go
think
to
they'll auction off that stuff from the time capsule.
Everything except for the Vega.
Oh, they are
stealing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, and the
you
leisure
got a whole,
suit.
Yeah, you got a football team.
Oh, put on the leisure suit, jump in the Vega. And just peel
drive
off.
away.
Yep.
And laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Forever and always. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Just a big old bumper sticker on
Exactly.
the back as you drive away.
If it's purple, I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say what color it is. Might be purple.
What if it is purple?
That would be insane. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You'd have to take
because these guys are blue and white. Is their school colors?
Mm.
Yeah. The Bulldog, blue and white Bulldog.
I know they have a nice stadium, good venue, but it's been a while since I've been back, so I don't know anything about it.
I looked at a bunch of pictures. It looks like a beautiful facility. It looks like they really got it going on.
Well, all right.
Well, let's talk a little bit about their football program, or actually, let's start with their athletics program. Really, in their history, they've won 3 NAI national championships, and not in football, but in 2015 men's track and field, in 2016 women's, and in 2019 women's basketball. So they do have 3 natty champions, their teams in recent history. So yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
They've got some now. What am I looking at here? Seward does have some pro football players.
There was
who's that?
Bub Weller.
Yeah, there was a
Raymond Fred Bub Weller, American football player. He played college for the University of Nebraska. A little
go Bug Eaters.
Quick, short drive away. Played 5 years and 60 games of pro ball in the early years of the NFL.
Yeah, didn't have a face mask, so there's no pictures of him.
No.
Well, then there was a I don't know how to. It's Koch. I don't know if that's Coke or Koch or Cook.
I think it's Cook.
It could be Cook
Yeah.
because there's actually
Sam Cooke,
Yeah.
former professional football. He spent 16 years. He was
a
punter,
kicker?
punter for the Baltimore Ravens.
So they actually have a coach on staff that has the same last name. You got to wonder if that's
We interviewed him one year.
yeah, but really.
Yeah, Grant, I think was his name.
Yeah, something like that, So
offensive line coach. Yep.
you got to wonder if he was a relation to the NFL legend.
I don't think so, but we had him on campus a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Coach Ani was better.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
I didn't need to say that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's actually one of their coaches. It's like I can't remember, but it's like Connie or County or something. It's like a K or a C or a G AUNE. So I thought, okay, I want to be Ani.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, so these guys, they actually started their football program in 1925.
Okay.
Played one game. Yeah.
Did they win?
I didn't see that, but
Probably not.
Yeah, but they didn't play in 1926 or 1927. Their first coach was Walter Hellwege, Hellwege. That guy had a career record of 40, 32, and 9. There was a lot of ties.
A lot of
back in the
ties,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you're wearing sweaters and leather ball caps, I mean.
Well, that's true.
They didn't know what else to do.
Yeah,
Ball game, I guess.
Yeah, and so currently, as we talked about last week, Patrick Dabercow, he's the 10th head coach in school history. So they've been at this for almost 100 years, and so they've had some long time.
So have we.
Coaches. Yeah,
absolutely. We started about the same time, maybe a little bit earlier.
1920.
Yeah,
1920, and so we're right up there. But yeah, he's again, I said he's 10th in school history. He's currently 32 and 36 as a head coach. They joined the GPAC in the year 2000. So their best finish under Coach Dabercow was his first year in 2017. They went 6-4 overall, 5-3 in the conference, and that put them at third in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a few years ago. Their best GPAC finish ever before coach was under Coach Courtney Meyer, who's actually still on staff as an assistant coach. So you got a lot of guys that have tenure, and you got Coach Meyer that used to be the head coach. Now he's a position coach. But they tied for first their second year in the GPAC under Coach Meyer.
Okay.
They were 10-2 overall, 7-1 in the conference, and they finished number 7 in the nation.
Wow.
So they have some history there.
Yeah.
And they got some good things. As I was looking at their, Troy, you look like you have.
Well, do you know what number you are as far as head coaches go?
I do not. No.
Well, I don't know
It can't be. And we're talking 4-year history. I can't.
Was there 3 before Bolstorff, and then Bolstorff?
Do we count Paramore?
No.
Well, he was the head coach, but so then that would mean
he never coached a game.
If Bolstorff was 4, and I'm not,
his record is 0-0.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think it has to be a fall. I think it has to be a
There's
fall.
no season there. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got Coach Chapa, Coach Finley, Coach Anderson.
Littrell before Finley.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Littrell. And then Coach Anderson. And then Greg Youngblood.
Yeah.
And then Bolstorff.
Yeah.
And Bolstorff was here for 40 years.
Yeah.
And then there was one guy. So you're probably
That could be 7th or 8th.
Maybe you might be the 10th also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because there might have been a couple, I think, in the beginning that were
Sure.
just
That's
pretty
kind of
quick.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never really even thought to ask.
Right.
What
Like
am
you roll.
What number am I?
He rolls up like, listen, I'm only the 10th
Yeah.
coach in this 100-year program.
Well, if
this 99-year program, and you're like, I'm also the 10th
Yeah.
coach
So if you
in
would
this
have,
104-year program.
yeah,
That's actually pretty cool to think about, though.
Yeah.
that is really cool.
Now, they've had multiple coaches with a lot of tenure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had one with a ton.
Well, that's, Bolstorff,
Which
too.
is-
I mean,
which is
68
awesome.
or
Yeah.
69, 67, somewhere in there, all the way to
That's
2004 or something like that. I mean,
Yep.
a long time. So, for
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as I was doing this research, it got kind of scary because I started looking at their record books. Their person that is got the passing yards, passing touchdowns in the last 3 seasons is a guy named DJ McGarvey. He's on their roster. We'll be looking at him.
Okay.
So he's a current player. He's top of the record book in passing attempts, in completions, He averaged 12.6 yards per completion last year at a 57% completion rate.
Yeah. What was the completion rate?
57%. Yeah, he threw the ball 368 times, and 210 of those were successful. So he's accurate. And then the really good news is that he threw mostly to Austin Jablonski. He was first team all-conference wide receiver and first team All-American wide receiver. So those guys are, So Coach, you got some work cut out for you, which is perfectly great. But they had two guys on their first team. You know, they had Jablonski and defensive lineman Kyle Sterup as far as GPAC. Now McGarvey was second team, but he was obviously behind Jalen Granstead with Northwestern, who took them, to the title game. Yep. So it's kind of hard. Yeah. A guy that had those kind of numbers. It was pretty impressive. And then they had three other guys, running back, that Devin Ziegler, he was second team, and then a couple.
So is Jablonski? Is it Jablonski? He's still there.
Mm-hmm.
They're both coming back. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And Jablonski was first team All-American.
Okay.
In the NAIA. So kid's going to be impressive, and you've got a quarterback that puts up some really good numbers. So I think our second and third layers are going to be tested, Coach.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's where two of our team captains are.
Amen. But what's interesting is, of course, you're in a conference with Dordt and Morningside and Northwestern, and there's a lot of good schools that play, football schools. But only 3 of their players ever made Player of the Week in the GPAC. Jablonski, he did it once for special teams. He had 2 kickoff returns for 114 yards in one game. One of those was for 88 yards. No touchdown. He got stopped on the 8. And then DJ McGarvey, there was one game that he threw for 364 yards and accounted for 5 touchdowns, 4 in the air and 1 on the ground.
So to dissect that a little bit, right? You're saying an All-American wide receiver.
Yes.
In the GPAC.
First team was Player of the Week one time. It was for special teams. You bet.
That's exciting.
That is.
That's just how good everybody is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, who are you going to have your good games against? And then we were going against the last episode.
Yep.
Looking at everybody and who they were beating. And there was some teams in there, Midland, right? That was, lost to this team, but then beat this team. And it's like every single week is going to be a dogfight. That's what football should be.
Yeah, it should be, and it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun to play teams like this, coming right out of the jump, and, they're not going to know much about us. And
especially week 1, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not new here, but we're doing, obviously, some different things. Coach Ani's evolved to some different things, and they're not going to have a lot of film on us. We're not going to have a lot of film on them.
Yeah, their only other player of the week in the GPAC was in week 7, a kid by the name of Will Potratz. He's a defensive back. He's a freshman. He had 12 tackles and 1 scoop and score. So
there you go.
Yeah. So that they spread that around. And so again, it's, they're a very well disciplined. Obviously they're going to air game it for us, but again, they also got that, they got a all conference running back coming. I don't know if Ziegler's coming back or not.
Yeah. I don't know. I know they're going to be well coached, obviously. Anytime you've got somebody on staff that's been there for a while, they've got their roots and what they want to do, but we're going to be well coached too.
Well, absolutely. And you get, you get that tenure in your coaching staff, like what they've got, Coach Davercow he's been there a while. What I think we said 9 seasons as head coach, but he came up through the system.
Yeah.
And if you look
18 overall seasons, I think
you look at a lot of the guys on their coaching staff, alma mater, Concordia. Yep. So they've been in the program for a very long time, so they understand all the nuts and bolts. So that's going to make them extremely dangerous, and they could make some noise in the GPAC this year.
Yeah, and I think for us, I mean, we're finally setting the foundation, especially with our graduate assistants with Cooper and Cade.
Yep.
Trying to keep it in the family because we understand what we're trying to do and who we want to do it with. And if we can keep everybody around, we're going to be pretty
and
dangerous.
For those guys, you don't have to teach them a lot.
No.
It's not like, okay, this is what it means when we say this. This is what we're going for when we're trying to, get.
And I was only head coach for them for 1 season, but I did all the special teams too. And Coach Finley let me, head up some meetings back in the day. So I've been around them in a lot of different roles too.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't, I mean, we're not rookies. We're definitely not rookies.
No.
Because you're entering your 6th season
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. Here.
9 overall. Yeah. Getting
Wow.
up there, man. Yeah.
Well, it looks like so McGarvey and Jablonski, they're going to be seniors. I'm looking at the roster. It's a little bit behind. They haven't updated it yet, but I don't think we have either. So, they're definitely and mostly Nebraska. I mean, this is a pretty Nebraska team, and they've got some players from Texas and some Missouri guys.
But the foundation is that's what we're that's exactly what we're looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not Nebraska, Iowa, but
right,
hometown.
Yeah, exactly. We want these kids
because those are the guys that you're going to be able to grow up through the program.
Right.
We're always going to get our I'm from Texas. I'll get some Texas guys, and Ani's going to get Minnesota, and Donadio will get some California guys.
We got some.
When you're this close to Minnesota, you got to pull some.
Yeah, they're in our backyard.
Yeah,
they're in our backyard. But those are the kids that
get them out of Minnesota, bring them down here, get them some culture.
Right.
And maybe we should start recruiting some of those Nebraska kids just to bring them up here and show them how life should look.
We're trying.
I know. That's good.
And now that we're in the GPAC, we got a little bit more ammo for that kind of stuff.
Amen. And so, do you Obviously, you played against Concordia when you were there at Dome.
Won the game-winning interception in overtime.
Tell me about it. You have to remember every part of that.
Yeah, so it was one of the and remember, I played Division I football, and this Concordia game
ACU.
was probably my favorite football game. I was coming off of an injury, 2 broken ribs, so I missed a couple games. First game back, a little bit out of shape, not like I am now, but I was wearing a flak jacket like quarterbacks wear. Because I was not trying to. I was already not trying to tackle anybody, but this was like extra. I'm just here to guard people. I don't want anything.
Swap passes down.
Yep. And so we ran a 3-3 stack defense, so a lot of cover 3. We had safety at the time, Cole Wiseman, that was phenomenal, and another bounce back kid, Ben Muff, across from me at corner, that was also good. He played at South Dakota State.
They're okay.
Yeah, he was a hometown kid from Crete, and we were 7-0 going into Concordia at their place, and they were 7-0.
Ooh!
And this was like we're trying to get
Clash
some playoff,
of the Titans.
Yeah, trying to get some playoff implications, and going up against a guy named Jared Garcia, who I played at. He was at Stephen F. Austin when I was at Abilene Christian, so we kind of knew each other. Both transferred into the GPAC, and I guarded him all game long. Now, he was an outside receiver, big old tall, 200-pound dude.
6'4".
6'3", 6'4".
Yep.
Last play of the game, they move him. They're on like the 10-yard line going in, about to score.
What was the score at the time?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was we were up by 1 or 2, and it was 4th down. And they moved him from the outside receiver to the inside receiver. And I said to my safety,
big indicator.
I told my safety, I said, hey, something's going on here. I think he's going to run a corner route right at me, but don't let him run a post. They call timeout. We call timeout, so I'm talking to the defensive coordinator, Coach Bessler, and they come out in the same formation. And they run number 1 on a little hitch route, trying to get me to drive down on it. And then number 2 on that corner route, like we thought, intercepted it back of the end zone, game over.
Boom.
And then I just get dog piled, right, with broken ribs.
Nice.
I'm thinking I'm going to die. And it was really cool because Crete and Seward aren't very far apart, so they traveled well. Our home traveled well too.
So wouldn't it be interesting down in Seward, Nebraska on the 31st of August if Waldorf's up by 2 points? And
if that's the case, I'm trying to find one of you guys in the stands. Like, you believe this is happening, right?
Yeah. Jablonski's going to line up inside.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm calling timeout.
Yep.
I'm going to talk to the boys.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Yep, exactly.
Because Dabercow, he was on staff.
Of course he was.
He wasn't the head coach because this was 2016. This was probably right before him.
Yeah. Well, this didn't work last time we tried it. Let's try it again. I think we'd be successful this time. That would be something. And
that would be insane.
And then and Case and Handle goes up and grabs the interception and boom. game over.
Game over. Dog pile.
Nice.
I'm
Hopefully, he
getting in
doesn't
on
have.
that
Hopefully,
dog
no broken ribs. Yeah.
No
doubt. I don't think he could break anything in Kaysen.
He's like the Terminator. He's a machine.
He rolls right back.
I mean, he works out and then he's at the golf course.
Yeah. That's right. That's outstanding.
I saw him in the grocery store earlier this.
You talk about somebody who's bought into this place.
Yep.
That whole family. But
Yeah.
Jason's older, right? And
Yeah.
he's got a girlfriend in town and
Yep. He was. She was with him.
contributing to the economics here, the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
He's a great dude.
well. Let's be honest. The Handel family, sending two of their sons up here to play Waldorf, and they're phenomenal athletes. And I really hope that the season down in Tomball will be of such where Dave and Jill can get up here and watch their boys play that one last time.
Well, Tom Ball sent us some pairs of players.
Yep.
We found out that
The triplets.
the twins are actually triplets.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We haven't been able to get down to Houston and go see them and recruit, but I got a strong feeling after this year we will.
Well, and maybe what we can do is we can get Kaysen to be like, hey, you can be our offsite recruiting coordinator for, let's say, $100.
Well, and he's going to have to finish his master's too, so there are things in the works that we
Nice.
Wow.
try to keep him around a little bit.
Wow, that's foreboding is what that's called.
We have we've talked about the town, Seward.
Seward. That's a funny word, isn't it?
It is.
It's kind of like,
yeah.
it's like if you throw waste at somebody like Seward.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of like sewer, but I know that's not what it's named after, and I like Seward, Alaska, but I thought the same thing when I didn't know there was one in Nebraska until is there only Sewards in states that end in A?
Whoa. That's a good one.
I don't know. Is there a Seward, Iowa?
We need an AI.
AR.
Yeah.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona. There's got to be another Seward out there. You know what? I'm going to get on my pocket.
See how many Sewards there are.
Yep.
Well, I don't
amongst
think
yourself.
that they're doing a lot of halibut fishing in Seward, Nebraska,
Probably
like they
not,
do in
yeah.
Seward, Alaska.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did?
Yeah, it would be amazing.
There's probably
Like you could
some
just
of the
go over there.
time cap.
You don't have to go all the way to Alaska to get. They got it over in Nebraska. It's a little
real
secret.
landlocked.
They're not saying anything. They're like, oh yeah, we got the halibut over here. I don't even like the halibut. The darn things, they kill all the bass.
Do they really? See, I don't know anything about this stuff. I haven't been fishing since I was probably 10 years old. But Coach Ani has, and him and I talk fishing probably too much, but because I don't know anything about it, I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
And
You want to learn?
yeah, you're going.
Andy's going fishing.
Yeah, you need to
right
take
away.
me one day.
Yeah, right after this
Yeah.
recording. In fact,
We'll go over
Not
to
today, but
we'll
yeah.
go over to Okoboji. Yeah, my whole family's there. You wouldn't have a place to sleep,
yeah.
Oh,
which
yes,
not my problem.
I'll figure it out.
The funny thing is about one of those halibuts is that they start off like a normal fish when they're just a little fry. They are normal. They have, their eyes are forward and they're swimming.
One on each side of their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then during their awkward teenage years,
Oh.
Puberty. if you will.
one of their eyeballs rotates over to the other side where the other eyeball is, and then they become more like a flat fish, and then they end up hanging out on the bottom of the ocean. That's why they're down, several hundred feet, and you got to bring them up like a car hood,
Well, if you get a good one.
if you get a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where do you? So they're only in the ocean, or
Yeah, they're only in the ocean.
Saltwater fish.
Yeah.
But they're delicious.
Oh,
Can't go wrong with
they're the
halibut.
best. I think they're the best fish.
I do love me a little fish fry though.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
Well, you know what? How would you feel about crappie? Because hopefully tomorrow.
how many crappie do we need to add as a lot to the meat drawing?
I don't know if we can. Now, we'd have to check USDA regulations. Can you give away wild caught meat that's not inspected and like prepared in a.
Well,
Quite literally, there's a plastic table.
we're going to do a meat auction. Meat raffle.
Meat.
We're going to do a meat raffle.
I got a bag of crappie fillets.
Yeah.
Watch the pin bones. They're still in there.
I didn't clean those very good. In fact, I just quit after a while. Some of those are pretty fresh.
Well, I've got my skins it. I'm taking it over this weekend to give it a shot and see if I can get it to work, because I tried them on yellow bass one time, and that's like trying to take the carpet up with something like that. They're a rough fish.
Yeah.
They're delicious, but anyway. So Concordia, what else we got about these guys?
Well,
I saw you clicking around over there.
Yeah, I was.
How do you?
I was just looking at the university. Looking at their roster a little bit. Yeah. It's pretty similar to ours. Very Nebraska in that regard.
They got some. I see some Missouri, some Texas.
Yep. They got Missouri,
Katy, Texas. Yep. That's a good program over there.
Katy, Texas, Missouri. They've got Houston. Kid out of Houston.
We got tons of kids out of Houston, and we need more.
Yeah, because we've got a couple graduating.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that Jablonski, he's from Lincoln.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
good.
Right next door.
Does it say the
wanted to be a bug eater his whole life, and he turns out to be a bulldog.
6'4" though, man.
6'4", yeah.
Obviously pretty athletic.
Yeah.
He put up some numbers. I mean, nothing to cough at when you're first team All-American.
That dude's 6'7". You see him?
What?
Quarterback?
I got to see a quarterback that's 6'6".
Which one's that?
Go up two.
He's he'd be a junior now. Oh yeah, quarterback Gideon Stark. He's
from Margarita,
Magnolia, Texas.
Magnolia.
He's in Magnolia, Texas, where that Chip Gaines guy lives. Chip and
I couldn't tell you.
All the ladies.
Kind of looks like Luke Johnson from here, anyway. I'm kind of.
Well, maybe Luke went down, found himself some eligibility.
I saw Luke the other day.
I don't think he looks like.
His name's Gideon. That's a cool name.
Yeah, it is a great name. Strong name. Good job.
Well, he came out of Concordia Lutheran High School in Texas, so they got a
little pipeline.
Yeah, they got a pipeline.
Exactly.
He was named the school's chemistry student of the year, so he probably doesn't play very much either. But
he probably
he's going to have a good career or something.
Yeah.
Sat down with his head coach.
I wish him well.
Do you want to go to Concordia, St. Paul, Concordia, Nebraska,
all right,
Concordia, California, Concordia, Wisconsin, Concordia, Illinois? Like, coach,
Concordia, Michigan.
You got another.
And he's from where in Texas?
Margarita,
wherever that's named. Like
Magnolia.
Oh, sorry.
Magnolia.
It's hard to read from.
Yeah,
that's true. And hey, Margarita, Texas, is there one? You're from?
There ought to be.
No, I don't know if there is or not.
Well, that's a great name, Magnolia.
Yeah, they've got they got some people from Lincoln. They got a local guy from Seward here. He's a defensive back. He may not be there anymore. So
he's gone.
He's gone. He probably didn't play. Let's see. Yeah. So lots of guys.
Yeah, lots of guys. It's going to be good to get down there and see what they can put together, and hopefully, we'll go in and shock the world.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think
shock us.
Well, I don't know.
Our guys get in August 6th.
Nice.
Seems like a ways away, but it ain't.
Well, it's June.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, June is coming up here in just a couple days,
and we're working. Still piecing together the recruiting class and doing some playbook stuff, and
it'll be a good time. So yeah, we're gonna, folks, figure on making that trip down to Seward and seeing the world's largest time capsule.
Well, you can do that, and you can find a hotel to stay at. I'd recommend booking early if you're going to stop in Lincoln. If you decide that that's where you want to stay, we will figure out what the whole situation is with the tailgating out there, because, looking at the Google Maps, it's not particularly clear where.
So how would that phone call go?
Set up.
I mean, where you're gonna, like, Troy Thompson's gonna call down and hello, Concordia University, can I help you?
I need to speak to the AD.
Yes. This is Chad Gassman. I'm calling to see if there's a place for us to party.
Your voice got deeper, Coach. Your voice got deeper.
Yeah, he didn't talk like that.
I'm sorry, sir. Did you say party? What? Like, are you talking balloons and maybe a clown?
I mean, there could be a clown. There's going to be a clown in a leisure suit, I can tell you that. He's going to be driving away in a VEG at the end of the game, and everything's going to be great.
Well, that sounds wonderful, sir. As long as there's no alcohol or illicit drugs.
Define alcohol.
You mean like no beer? I mean, because beer's really not alcohol, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just flavored water.
What do you think about the number 43? And it's...
Yeah, they would not want Randy and Darla to come
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, I
and
think
they're
so.
up for it
Like
too.
the K-Town trailers
They're up
coming
for
out
it.
there because they're bringing. Remember
like-
we used to say that like
they're
everybody
crashing
from
a wedding.
Canal would get in a horse trailer and they just come up here.
Yeah, come up,
Yeah.
load out, looks like a clown car.
Going to
There's
Nebraska.
There's the clown car.
It's like,
Exactly. Stop in
like
Lincoln.
they're crashing a wedding.
Right. Well, I will figure that out. We got to figure out, where we're going to be, and then
I'm sure it's college.
it's a
football.
7:00 game at night.
Yeah.
So I mean, by the time
You don't
we're
even
done,
have
it's
to stay.
9:30, 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
you don't have to stay
know?
overnight because you're going to have to drive home late anyway.
Well, yeah, but the
Unless
game,
you stay.
game gets over at 9:30 and you're going to drive 5 hours back.
Nah, we're going to stay overnight.
We are.
But, well,
Yeah, but
we
you have
will.
a driver.
you got a driver. I
You got a
mean,
driver.
Yeah,
these
we're-
people been drinking caffeinated Pepsis all day.
Yeah.
We're trying to spread the word. It's a 7:00 game. People are like 7:00 in the morning. I better get there at 3.
Yeah. No, that's what
Start cooking breakfast.
That's
You know,
seriously. That's what it is. The Erdmans used to cook freaking waffles and
Oh yeah, I
French toast and
So I remember one time we were at the tailgate before a game last year, and Chad and Amber were there, and Darla had said something. Hey, there's breakfast sandwiches in there. Help
Yeah.
yourself. And so I took the lid off the thing and kind of set it on precariously on the edge, and Chad had set his beer down, and it knocked his beer over and spilled it everywhere. And of course, I feel like a fool.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that. But that was the game that Austin got that interception and touchdown. You remember that?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
went
was
back
like-
to his old running back days.
You bet. He
yeah.
muscled into the end zone, and
Yeah.
there was a big celebration. And after the game, I told Chad, all right, I'll be back here next week. What
Spill
time?
another
I'm gonna
beer.
spill another
Yeah.
one of your beers.
Well, one of my favorite things is like I can't sleep the night before a game. I get a couple hours in, but my mind just can't turn it off. And I have this not long walk, but I got this walk from the D-Jack to the Bowman, and that's where Coach Ani and I we leave the DJ. We don't talk at all, but we're just kind of locked in, ready because we're going to the team meeting,
Yeah.
and then we get to the tailgate, on the way over there, and they're just like, "Hey, Coach, do you need this? Do you need that? You want this? You want that?" And as much as I do want that,
Yep.
I can't,
I can't.
but like that's
working.
just those kind of people, man. Those are
Oh, yeah.
awesome people.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, get down to Seward, Nebraska, but more importantly, almost, is get to all the home games. Every single home game. Call 10 of your friends, tell them to tell 10 of their friends, and let's pack that place. Let's make sure that if we're going to reserve a little spot for St. Francis, that they're pushed way off into a corner, maybe over by our defensive, our co-defensive coordinator's house.
Yeah, that would be funny. Where
Yeah.
he's got him and Angel have all the away teams in their backyard right there.
That'd be great.
get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Get off
But
my
that's
lawn.
3 hours on a Saturday when it's it's usually pretty good weather here in Iowa.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, and really, we don't go too far north whatsoever. Everybody's kind of right along our latitude.
Yeah,
And south.
south. Yeah, this will be the first time we've
Yeah.
ever driven south since I've been here.
I'm just looking
Right.
at their.
Well, except for when we played Iowa Wesleyan.
That didn't feel south. It felt
It was
right.
way south.
It felt right though.
Yeah, it was down there next.
I know that's east, but it just felt right.
Well,
It felt like we were driving right.
Well, it depends on like if you're looking north, it would be to your right.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I'm looking,
Okay.
like a compass.
Yeah,
they've got
absolutely.
the-
And
looking at their little clubs, every university's got.
oh yeah, they're
student
Yeah, go
organizations
ahead.
and
Extracurriculars, I
clubs
bet.
there.
Mhm.
Is that an American Sign Language club?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ASL.
Let's see what that looks like. It's not.
And you look at the pictures, and those students look so happy.
It's not a video because
No, we don't want to watch videos of
But
happy Missouri.
they've got a Catholics at Concordia. There's just one lady.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go. There's a
Exactly.
little rivalry.
Yeah.
yeah, shot
That
across the-
bottom one, I can't tell on that first one. It looks like it says bourbon for life.
That's Bulldogs for life.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably their. Who knows?
Probably not
Not
bourbon.
my
Yeah.
bourbon.
Probably not
Yeah.
bourbon.
It's hard to.
I like Concordia's mission. I like their. It seems like it's a nice school. They never show pictures of unhappy people. This guy over here, though, I don't know. He's
He's just there on accident.
he's in a pottery class with all these girls, and he doesn't know what to do because he's like,
Should be happy.
He's no dummy.
No,
Yeah,
well,
Yeah, it
exactly.
should be. It's like
I don't know if you want
home
to take
economics.
He's not.
I don't know if
he's
you
not
wanna
even
take-
looking at his. He's not even looking at his claymation over here. He's looking at this lady, this girl, Oh, good Lord.
Well, he is a college, he's a co-ed.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him. They're showing a girl
Some
lifting
dining
weights.
options.
Ooh, dining
Health
options.
and wellness.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Well, and so their interesting part is that
their other campus dining options, maybe they're better.
If you look at their
they got
the Doghouse Grill.
Coffee at 10:31. I don't know what that means. But you can buy 190 meals or 85 or you got lots of options over here.
So we've got the Warrior Crossing. They got the Doghouse.
See what they say life in Seward is like.
Well, and they have their athletic facility next to their football field is like, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the Human Performance Center.
Ooh.
I don't know. That sounds kind of, I don't know.
Don't try to get in there with your show dogs.
Are we sure do they have a Walmart?
They do. Yeah. It's on the southeast part of town.
Well, they don't have a Hy-Vee. I'll tell you that.
No, they have a Pack and Save.
They don't have a Quick Star.
Listen, folks, you'll have plenty to do in Seward when you're not in class or studying, from seeing a movie at the Rivoli Theater, bowling at the Seward Bowl.
Bowling?
They don't have a freaking golf simulator in there, though.
No, they probably don't.
Oh, you could go to the Old Glory Theater.
The
Old Glory.
No, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost said it.
Yeah, viewing, and then you could go look at local art at the Red Path Gallery. Or they've got events at the Neutral Grounds Coffee Shop, which seems like a good name,
Well,
actually.
like maybe somebody with a guitar and they smell a little bit like patchouli.
Don't be distressed. There's an outdoor pool, Andy, and the handful of parks. There is a golf course and a disc golf course as well. They got it. Tennis court.
Got all that stuff.
And ours is definitely
walking, biking trail.
We have a Mark Helgeson.
Oh,
that's right.
So they don't have a Mark.
And you're right, Andy. They do have the largest 4th of July celebration in the state of Nebraska.
It is
not in the country,
but they have been named by the United States Congress, and trust me, those guys never make mistakes. And
right.
So it's not self-proclaimed like this time capsule.
No, actually, it was an act of Congress.
Yeah, you can shop local, and they recommend that, from the boutique style stores, from clothes to books or gifts for your grocery needs. Locally owned, Pack and Save.
Yeah,
and Walmart. They will
Walmart.
have you covered. Walmart is there.
Exactly. They have a Walmart grocery, I believe, as well.
And there's also an Orscheln's, whatever that is.
Orscheln's kind of like your Baumgars.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they have those in Maryville. They had one in Maryville, Missouri. It's your farm and home store. Yep.
I feel like you've been to one of those before.
Oh, yeah. Orscheln.
They got a Dollar General. So do we.
Yeah, well, we have a Dollar.
Doesn't everybody? They spring up all the time. People don't even know. It's uncontrollable.
Do they have a Dollar Tree? Because we have a Dollar General and a Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
A couple hardware stores, and they got 3 secondhand stores.
How many gas stations?
Doesn't say. I don't know why they don't list that.
They don't have a big and small Casey's.
Ooh, I bet not.
Ooh.
I bet they don't even have a Casey's. They have no idea what pizza tastes like. Yeah, I don't know.
Have a Shooters either.
Nope. No, all those good places, they don't have a Taco Jerry's and Borderline Pizza. Can you imagine going through life without those two things?
Oh, without Borderline Pizza?
No way.
Come on.
Nope.
I don't even know.
Perfect crust every time.
If they close, I'm moving.
Well, when their fans tune in to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast in retrospect, which I'm sure they probably will do, they will know next year where to come, because they're going to go and say, "Where's this Borderline Pizza?" And we'll
maybe order it after the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have it delivered.
Oh, look for the Quonset hut on the north end of town, next to the cemetery.
That's true.
That is very true, but that's hilarious.
Midwestern charm.
It'll be right next to the hotel you'll probably stay at, unless that gets booked up full, and then you'll be on the other end of town, and then you can find out what Casey's Pizza's like.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I think that we've probably covered Concordia University Bulldogs and the city of Seward pretty well. Does it feel good, guys?
I learned a lot.
This will be a fun series.
Yeah, it will be fun. I think as we dig into it a little bit more, I apologize for not bringing more to the table with my intel on Seward, or particularly Concordia. I learned a lot today, and I really hope that if you take anything away from this, that you just recognize that, it's another great school in the GPAC conference, and it's a Lutheran affiliated school. And even though they're named after a feminine Greek noun, it's still probably pretty good community out there. And we look forward to going out and visiting them and finding out what this place in Nebraska is all like. Looks like the old pictures compared to the new pictures. I will say this: they've done a good job planting a lot more trees.
There you go. Because
Thank
it's too
goodness.
flat. It's too flat out.
Old pictures were like, we got no trees.
Yeah. We've got beautiful trees around our field to cut that wind down a little bit.
Forest City.
Yeah.
It's Forest City.
Yeah.
Waldorf. Come on, man.
That's right. So, yeah, I think, folks, if you enjoyed this, and I'm sure you did, tune in next week for a comprehensive look at Doane University.
Ooh, just down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll have stories for days.
Oh, boy, I can't hardly wait, Coach. It's going to be a good time. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast and all things Concordia University in Nebraska. Not Wisconsin, not Illinois, not Minnesota, not
wherever else they
Michigan.
are.
California,
a lot of places,
Michigan,
apparently.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump too far, Andy, hey, keep a lookout for those letters, folks. They're coming for the membership stuff, and you're going to get a link. The Coach and Andy here, they just made a little video before we recorded this, and so that'll be a link in there that you can see too. Encouraging you to go to the website, which is the WaldorfGridironClub.org, and we want to make sure that you take a look at that. Click on the big donate button and do all those wonderful things. That's how you become a member of the Gridiron Club, and that's how we continue to be the best small college football experience in America.
All right, folks, that's it. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. For Troy Thompson, this is Andy Buffington, and forever and always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club and be part of the best small college football experience in America.
Just visit our website and pick your membership level. Find us and everything Waldorf Gridiron Club related, including professional photos, at WaldorfGridironClub.org.
You can also click on the Support the Show link in the show notes to donate.
And you can even use the United States Postal Service by sending your check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
It's tax exempt, hassle-free, and has a level for every budget.
That's right. Anyone can join, even our rivals.
Show your colors. Join the Gridiron Club today.
Get it?
Got it. Fantastic.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farm Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. Platformed by Buzzsprout and music by Soundstrike. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to the student athletes of the Waldorf University football program. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.